Hello, welcome to the Woolly Closet. My name is Gwen and I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, where I live with my 12-year-old daughter and my two budgies, whom you might hear in the background every now and again. It's been a little while. I know I have a lot of new followers recently, so welcome and I hope you stick around. Today is the 5th of November and I'm a little confused because this is a whole different setup. My tripod fell yesterday and broke, so I'm using a different thing and it's very unstable, so I'll have to order a new one. And then when I tried to record this morning, I found out my microphone didn't charge. I tried to charge it yesterday and I guess it didn't because it was completely dead. So I had to wait for an hour before recording again. So now my brain's all a little muddled. Anyway, welcome. Today I am wearing my Camellia sweater. It's a test knit I did for Veera Välimäki in 2023. I've used Drops Charisma and Drops Nord. And I've knitted it on a 4mm US 6 and a 5mm US 8. And it's quite oversized. I usually wear my sleeves like this. But when I am talking or doing stuff, I roll them up a bit more like this. So, yes, well, I really like this sweater. It's nice and warm, cozy. Well, I'm sorry if you can hear them. They've been locked up in their cage for an hour for charging my microphone, so they'll be noisy. There will be a nice video of them, by the way, at the end of them eating a pear when I make my breakfast this morning. They don't usually get fruit, but they deserve the treat. Right, finished objects. I have two. I have finished my harvester's, well, not mine, my daughter's harvester sweater. I knitted it in Drops Lima and Rosario's Pio Pardo. In the previous video, I talk more about this one, and I used a 325mm US 3 and a 375mm US 5, and this is it. It's blocked and washed and already worn. And I kid you not, she's worn it twice. I finished this early September. She wore it yesterday and the sleeves are too short. When I finished the sweater, the sleeves came to about here and now they're there. I don't know what she does. I know she's growing, but this is insane how much length those arms need. So I need to rip back the cuffs again and add some length to it. Well, I have still some balls left of this Drops Lima, so I can make it work. Oh, it's so nice and soft. I love Drops Lima. It's an alpaca wool blend. I don't know if you tried it, but if you can, do it. It's lovely. I'll give you a little close-up of the leaves. Or what is it? Grass, maybe. I've used two colorways of the Rosarios. And I held it double. I had a light green and a dark green. And I started at the top and I held the yarn double with the double green, dark green. Then I switched one out for a dark green and a light green. And at the bottom part are two strands of the light green. So it creates a bit of a fade. And I really like how it's turned out. My daughter loves it too. It's nice and warm and toasty and it's really soft because of the alpaca. I love alpaca. I think it's my favorite. I do love it in a blend though, not really on its own, because then it's all slippery and well, anyway. So this is one finished object, but will need to be redone for a bit. Those sleeves need to grow like this much on each side. And then, well, my other finished object, I just finished it last night, so it's not blocked yet. We have had a leaky gutter at the front, and I just knew the problem was coming from our next door neighbors. They are on their honeymoon right now, and we were going to fix it when they got back. They had a new gutter installed, but I knew the seam just wasn't right, or something was off. But we also have a roofer in our street. His name is Ronald, just like my dad's. And when it was Halloween, we had a party in our neighborhood and also in our street. And Ronald came by walking his dog Chica, and he walked past us, and my husband asked him, would you be so kind and have a look at our gutter, because it's leaking and we don't know what to do, and maybe you can see what the problem is and please charge us for it, we'll pay. And he said, no, I'll stick my ladder to your wall tomorrow, and then I'll have a look. We were out that day and it was raining a lot, so he came by and said, I'll do it tomorrow. And the next day, when we were out with our mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, his mother, my mother-in-law, we always do that on a Sunday. We came back and we found this piece of roof lining stuff. I don't know the English word for it. Bitumen, it's called in Dutch. We found it on the floor, so I thought, well, he fixed it, probably. But he wasn't at home, and I kept looking at his house, seeing if the lights were on. And then I thought, well, now it's evening late, and I'm going for a shower. And then the doorbell rang, and it was him. And he said, yes, there was a leak. They stuck something to it to connect your two gutters, and that was leaking. So I fixed it for you. And I said, well, how much do we owe you? And he said, well, nothing, because we're friends, or at least, no, he said, we're not friends. And then he didn't say that. He said, we're neighbors and we're kind to each other and we help each other. So it's free and you're kind people. So I said, well, then at least let me knit you a hat. And I said, do you wear hats? He said, yes, I do. I wear hats. So you can knit me a hat. And so I've knitted him an Antler hat. It's not blocked, but I always love this little hat. This is the fourth one I've knitted, and there are more in my future. This is Drops Charisma. It's a bit on the thin side. Drops Charisma is a DK weight, and for the Antler hat you need to use a worsted or even Aran weight, I don't really know. But I do think Ronald has a big head, so I thought I just knit the largest size, add some length to the brim. I didn't do the slouchy one, but because then you'd have to knit 9 of these Antlers, and I only did 5. But it's really nice. I'll put it on for you, like so. So, hope you can see it. And I still have room, so I think his hat will be fine. It covers my ears, it covers my husband's ears, because he tried it on as well. So when I'm done filming this little bit, I'll put it in the bucket with a little Eucalan soap and then dry it in front of the fire this evening, and then I can give it to him tomorrow evening when he's home again. Oh, now I have hat hair. So yeah, little Drops Charisma hat. My plan is to knit some more, not with Drops Charisma, but with Drops Nepal, because I have loads of it in my stash, and I'll tell more about that later. But yeah, this is leftovers from the Jaden sweater I knit for my brother-in-law. More on that later too. So yes, 2 finished objects. Not a lot, but what can you do? It's been so very busy. It's been autumn break here, and then I had a week filled with hospital appointments and physical therapy, and then Halloween, which I will also add in some. I have some pictures, so I'll put those in here. And then I'll talk about it at the end, if you're interested. All right, so Harvester Sweater. I didn't say the Harvester Sweater was by Jennifer Steingass, and the Antler hat is by Tincan, but I've probably put it on the screen anyway. God, I'm out of practice. Can you tell? Right. I have actually 3 finished objects, but I can't show you. I have done a test knit for Stephen West. I can't tell you what it is. I can't show you the colors. I can't show you anything. But I will show you probably at the end of December. If you are a Stephen West fan, you will probably know what I test knitted for, because it's at the end of December. It's coming out. And I'll show you then. It's not for me, it's for my daughter again. I haven't knit anything for myself in ages. And that's about to change. Well, so that's why I have not been around much, because I couldn't show anything. I haven't really posted much on Instagram. I haven't done any stuff on here. So I'm glad I'm back now, and hopefully normal schedule will resume soon. Right. I am doing another test knit, and this test knit is for, I can't remember her name now, but her Instagram handle is Picky Femme, or Picky Femme, I don't know, Picky Femme in proper French. I am test knitting the Dreamscape vest for my little niece. My little niece is 4-year-old Nina, who's about to be 5. So I'm knitting the 4 to 6-year-old size. And the Dreamscape vest is a vest in intarsia. This is the little swatch I made. It's rolling up pretty bad because I didn't wet block it. I just wanted to see if I knew how to do it. This is the back side. All those ends. I haven't woven them in. Can't be bothered. But oh well. So that's the swatch. I almost never swatch, but for a test knit, I always swatch because you need to do it right, right? I have finished the front piece of the little vest. This is it. They're on stitch holder right now, a cable cord. What is it? Barber cord. I'm using very muted colors. I know this is Ancient Drops Air Stash. And the grey one is Tencel Blow by Zwarte Varet. I also had in my stash. So this is the front part. Let me see. It's too small for me, unfortunately. Like so. And right now I am knitting on the back panel. I have knitted the bottom hem slightly longer. It's not difficult to do intarsia, but it is well, you're knitting with different balls of yarn held throughout your project, because every time you change color, you drop the previous color and take up the new color. So there are balls of yarn and threads connected to your knitting all over the place, and it drives me insane, really. This is just a kid's knit, so I can handle it, but if I would do this for myself, I'd probably go insane. I don't think intarsia is for me. Tiny projects I can do, but the bigger ones, no. I don't think I would knit this for myself in my size. Not because I don't like it, because I really do like it, because it's just too much yarn management for me. I have knitted, sewn in the ends on this one, but you can see you carry that yarn strand across the work. It's not like stranded color work, which is much more up my street than intarsia is. But it was nice to give a new technique a try. I'm also using the what do you call it, combination knitting. I'm using that for this, so I don't hurt my arm that much when I'm purling, because you usually, oh no, I can't remember. Anyway, purling in combination knitting style tends to hurt my hands less than normal purling would. I can purl fine for short periods, but when you're going back and forth, for me, combination knitting is much better. There are lots of tutorials on Instagram, on Instagram too probably, but on YouTube if you would like to give that a try and see for yourself if you don't like purling like me. So yes, this is almost done. I think if I would set my mind to it, I can have it done on Friday. Yes, well, at least the body, front and back parts. Then I'd have to do 4 more I-cords because it ties together with I-cords at the sides, and I'd have to do the neckline, but that's just easy knitting and TV knitting really. This intarsia bit I can only do when I am on my own and no one is around. I can't even really watch television. I have to put on some music. But I must admit, I am getting better at it, so I can probably watch a little knitting podcast while I'm doing it. Did I say? Yes, I did say what yarn it was. I am knitting them on a 5mm US 8 and a 5.5mm US 9, and I'm holding it double stranded, so it's nice and warm and thick. So yes, it doesn't have any sleeves. It just ties at the sides. So my little niece can wear it with a long sleeve t-shirt underneath or something. Or you can wear it over a proper sweater and be extra cozy and warm. Anyway, we will see if she likes it. If she doesn't, they can always gift it away to someone else. In the evenings, when me and my husband are exhausted and sitting on the couch watching some shows, we're watching Dexter's Resurrection at the moment. It's nice. Quite like it. I didn't at first, because here we go again, you know. Back from the dead again. Oh no, I've lost all my stitches. Hang on. I'll just put them back on. Do you know Dexter? It's on Sky. We've watched Dexter years ago, and then the new season that came with his son in Canada, I think it was, and now they're in New York. It's got Peter Dinklage in it, and I like Peter Dinklage. You know, Tyrion from Game of Thrones, amongst other things. All right, I've picked up my stitches, so enough chitter. Enough chitter. Yes, do you remember this sweater? It's the Jaden sweater by Isabell Kraemer. I knit for my brother-in-law, and he asked for another one at the same time I was knitting the first one. And I said yes, and he picked out the yarn, so I ordered that at the same time as I did the green one. And I have knitted quite a ways, split for sleeves, and I'm doing... Please, excuse me. No, not yet. Just a minute. And I'm knitting the body right now, but just like the last sweater, my brother-in-law is a giant, and I have to knit 106 rows on the body, and I have now 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, so, and a bit. I still have to... Leert, alsjeblieft. Nog eventjes. Even wachten. Bijna klaar. It's better. They don't understand English, I guess. And then I have to do the sleeves and the collar. But yes, it's going to be huge. I am using Drops Charisma. It's a lovely petrol color. It's got green in it, but the lighting is bad today. I'm sorry. It looks blue, but it's not. It's petrol, and it's a mixed color. So I'm hoping... No, it's even better. No. Well, sorry about that. I can't properly show you. It's a nice tealy blue petrol. Again, God. I know, needle stoppers, right? But they keep falling off. I can't be bothered. Yes, the Jaden sweater. I am knitting this with a 4mm US 6 and a 4.5mm US 7, and it's by Isabell Kraemer. Drops Charisma, like I said. Yes, not much more to say about this one. It's a little boring right now, but I really want to finish this. Like I said, I haven't knit anything for myself in quite a while. And the other work in progress, which hasn't been touched in a while either, but I did make some progress. The last time I talked about this, I said I stopped at the difficult part and I needed to figure out how to do that difficult part. Well, I did figure it out. Of course, I've now forgotten because it's been so long. But I did figure out it wasn't that difficult at all, which usually isn't difficult. You know, if you know how to knit and purl, you probably know everything. But yeah, I've knitted a bit of that dropped cable stitch thing. As you can see right here, it looks really pretty. It's not difficult. It's okay. So yeah, and there's the lacy bit. Oh yeah, I can probably. So I really need to pick this up again too. Well, I really need to finish that test knit and get my brother-in-law's sweater a bit more out of the way, and then I'll probably pick that back up again. And yet again, it's not for me. It's living in this cute bag I bought by Door Mij met Liefde, which is a Dutch bag maker. I love this one. It's got tea and cats and plants and yarn balls on it. So, right. And then I am also way behind with my Satsuma Street embroidery, which I'm really sad about. I really wanted to have it done in time for Christmas, but I won't be able to make it. But that's okay. It's not a contest. I am going to finish it though, because I'm really enjoying myself. I've taken it out of the hoop for you so you can see. I'm at the third part right now, and the fifth part is out too. So as you can see, it's going to have some penguins there at the right at the bottom, and there's nutcracker and a sparkly Christmas tree here with two little gnomey gnomes, or what you have, munchkins, gnomes. What's the word? Yes, I don't remember. And the Christmas tree is done with sparkly yarn. I was wondering, Jana, if you're watching this, you know Jana from Finnish Knitting Stories? Hi, Jana. If you are watching this, would this be able to count in your sparkly knit-along, make-along thing? Because I don't have much sparkly yarns and I'm still on my yarny diet. So I was thinking there are lots more sparkly bits coming in this embroidery bit. I'll ask you in a bit. We'll see. So yeah, really like where this is going. There's going to be two penguins here and two snowmen here. It's going to be a little mouse here and a polar bear there. And then the last part is still a secret. It will be out in a week's time, I think. Yeah, next week will be the last part that will be out. I think so, anyway. So I'm looking at my calendar, it's right there. I think so, yes. So I still have a while to go, and I'm really liking it. I usually do it. I'll knit in the first I do the housework and all my appointments, and then if I am at home, I'll do the knitting bit first, and then when I've had my lunch, I'll do some embroidery, and then the kiddo comes home again. So I get a few hours here and there if I'm lucky. So that was my Satsuma Street holiday house. Plans. More antler hats, because I have stash I need to knit up. My plan is to try and knit some antler hats in drops Nepal. I'm going to send this sweater off to my brother-in-law who lives in France now. And I'm going to put some antler hats in that box as well. So I'm going to knit a grey one for him, and probably a pink one, and a red one, and I have some orange, yellow, and I have green. So I'm going to knit more antler hats for the kids. They have 3 boys, and yeah. And the thing I really want to cast on above everything else is something for me. I really want to knit the Eurus sweater by aegyoknits. If you've been a follower for a little while, you probably have seen me buy this yarn. I bought this yarn from Edna a while ago, but I've dug it out because I really want to knit it. I have lots of in my new Door My Mat Leave the Bag. It's pretty flowers. Do you like it? I love it. I love the colors on this one. Very cute. It's filled to the brim with this yarn. It's called Yerbo number 6. It's Swedish combed wool, and I love it. I can only wear tomato red. Every other kind of red washes me out. And I have some drops kid silk mohair to go with this. It will lighten it up even a bit more. Lighting is terrible today, but I think this will be cute. Don't you think? I've never owned a red sweater before because I always thought red is ugly on me, but tomato red is fine. See? It's fine. And this is nice and soft, but it's... I need to do a swatch. I need to swatch to do with the silk mohair and without, and see which I like best. Probably with, because it just fills in the gaps so nicely. Yes, now, how do I get this back on? That's actually the only knitting plan I have for this. And then I need to pick up my Stella quilt blanket again at some point. I know I've promised my brother some leg warmers for when he travels on his scooter, but I need to felt those. And Jan has helped me with that, figuring out how I need to approach that, but I just can't be bothered. I really don't want to knit anything else for anybody anymore. I just want to knit for me. It's my turn now. I'm wearing the same sweater over and over again for the last 2 years. The last one I knit was more of a spring autumny sweater, and it's getting too cold to wear that one. You know, the one, what's it called again? The Sen sweater by Marie Renier with the neon stripes. That's the last one I knit myself, and it's been a while. And I can't even wear it properly in winter. So yeah, I really want to knit myself a nice sweater again. And this will be quite an undertaking because you knit the Eurus sweater from arm to arm, so from left to right, or right to left, I don't know. And you start with the cuff on your sweater, but I was thinking, I am a little hobbit, so my arms are also nice, short and stubby. I was thinking if I do a provisional cast on and go straight into the sleeve part, and then knit across and do the whole sweater thing, and then at the end I'll do the cuffs and see how much cuff I actually need. It's quite oversized and boxy, and there are only 3 sizes. I know you think that's not size inclusive, but it actually is pretty size inclusive, because the positive ease on this thing is massive, and it's really big on the smallest size, and it's even bigger on the biggest size. So I am sure lots of people can wear this sweater. I think it's very difficult to grade it in any other way because it's knit sideways. So I don't know. I'm going to knit the middle size. It will give me a lot of positive ease too. I don't think I'm going to knit a turtleneck. I think I'm going to do just the normal standard knit tube, row tube, or whatever ribbing they have for the neckline. We'll see. Well, that's about it for the knitting bit. If you'd like to stay and hear me chat a bit about what happened and everything, you can stay, and otherwise I will see you soon, hopefully, with more finished objects and hopefully some new cast-ons, because it's high time I need some new cast-ons and, you know, that kind of thing. So take care if you're not staying, and if you are, oh my days, it's been so busy. We've had autumn break. We went to a museum with my mother-in-law. We went to Cirque du Soleil in The Hague. We stayed home and watched movies. Yeah, lots of things really. And on the day we went to Cirque du Soleil, my father would be coming in the evenings to watch our daughter, and me and my husband would have gone to the theatre for a show. But he called me on the train station and he said, well, I can't come because there's a fire in a train in the next railway station over, which is in a tunnel. So all the trains didn't go anywhere, and he was stuck. So my husband said, well, we can't let our friend just go there alone, plus we have the tickets and he doesn't. So I said, yeah, you go along and have fun. So I ended up staying home that night, and it took my father more than an hour to get home as well, and he lives not that far from the railway station. So yeah, it was a lot of things going on that night. So I missed the show, but what you gonna do? Then I had an appointment with my neurologist for my MS. If you're new here, I have MS, and I am not able, I'm not even allowed anymore to work. I get benefits from the state. I do some volunteer work, which is also very lovely. I've been a couple of times now in new volunteer work for me, which is really nice. But I had my checkup, and everything's still within reasonable the range. My new medication is going better and better every time. I didn't have a headache last time. She said my blood values were perfectly normal with the medicine that I'm using. So we're going to continue with this, which I love, because my medication I only have to inject once a month, and I feel really good. Yeah, it's nice. On the boob front, I did get the thing removed. Turns out it was nothing, so that's really nice. I now have a scar like this big, but it's healing up nicely. It didn't bother me at all. It didn't hurt really. Only thing was, I forgot when they, I wasn't really nervous, but apparently I subconsciously was nervous, because when they started injecting me with the numb stuff, so you can't feel anything, the narcotic, what is that called? Can't remember. Well, they injected me and they made it all numb, and then they cut it out, and then they patched me up and sewed me up and everything. And then we were chatting all the way. We were talking about Stephen West shawls, actually. Oh, yes, Stephen West. I forgot to tell you all about that. I stopped. Many of you saw me, I think, was the last episode I was talking about this? Yes, last episode I was talking about the Stephen West shawl knit-along musical, and I said I was going to join, and I even showed you the yarn, and then it was time for Stephen West knit-along, and I couldn't make it work. I hated everything. I hated my colors. I kept doing it wrong. I didn't like the welts. No, this is what I got this is how far I've gotten, and then I call it quits. I made a mistake here for the third time, so I had to rip it back again for the third time, and I just really hated my colors. And if I'm going to do a Stephen West shawl, it just needs to be colorful and not this dark gray. So I dropped out. I forgot to tell you, I just stopped and grabbed my little, so I now can throw this away. It's, I don't know what I did wrong here. There's a hole, and I picked up the wrong color. I'm not sure I even like the shawl. I think it's pretty, but it feels a little just disjointed to me because it's got this seam right down the middle. I'm hoping he will release a blanket version of this, because I really like the slip stravaganza blanket. It's in my library on Ravelry, and I really plan to cast that one on as well. I don't know when, but I haven't yarn for that. So I have a big bag full of DK weight skeins I can use for that. So I'm hoping he will make a musical blanket as well, and I will buy that one if it's not as disjointed as the shawl, and I'll probably knit that one. So yes, this is my musical shawl. I have seen versions that I really like Yana's version from Finnish Knitting Stories, Katu Knits on Instagram. I really love that one. I needed happier colors. This just was too depressing for me. So yeah, okay. Back to the main part of the video. So, where was I? I can't remember. Oh yes, so they had sewn me up, and we were talking about Stephen West shawls, and I was wearing my last year's Stephen West shawl. What's it called? Anyway, my pink neon one. And I sat up and I felt, ooh, this is not great. I forgot that my MS reacts to adrenaline. So I was shaking like a leaf, and normal people shake all the time when they have an adrenaline rush, but mine won't stop for at least an hour. So I was walking like this to my husband, and I said, "Oh yes, now I remember. I shake when I get the shakes when I have an adrenaline rush, and it won't subside for at least an hour. It's very annoying." So yeah, it just shows you that I may look fine, but I am not. In case it actually fine, I do have weird things that the MS is doing to me. But I've had my checkup with the neurologist, and my feet reflexes are still weird. You know, when you have your feet reflex, they do this with a sharp stick, is what she does it with. And your toes need to do this, and my feet actually do this. So that means there's damage in your nerves somewhere along your back, probably. Yeah, but other than that, I am doing okay, feeling better. Perimenopause is still kicking my butt, but every time, once my period's done, I feel fine, top of the world. And then those last 2 weeks are, well, you know, what you gonna do? Not that much. I did change my diet a bit, and it seems to help. So, for a bit, of course, for a bit. Right. I don't know if I've shown you the Halloween bit yet. Probably I did. I think I've talked enough now for as little as I have to show you, and as much time that I have spent now chatting on here with you. So I am going to say goodbye, and hopefully I will see you soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to do, you know, what's the December vlog thing where you do Advent vlog? What's it called? I didn't do Vlogtober either because I just didn't have to show anything for myself because I was doing this secret test knit. But yes, I'm not sure if I'm doing the December thing, but we've got another month to go. Maybe I'll record one more before the December chaos is hitting us. And right here at the end, I will put some clips of our autumn break and of our two little budgies eating a little bit of a pear. And then I will say goodbye to you now for real, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.